The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Mark Hall. Clouds hang over the DMV. Could we see rain today? Let's find out from our expert meteorologist, Scott Sumner. He joins us now with the latest check on the forecast. Scott, we're trying to see if the sun can break through. I'm not optimistic.
Okay, come on, Mark. Be a little optimistic, please. Cross your fingers. Yes, you're right. Absolutely overcast skies as we look outside our weather window here on Wisconsin Avenue in the district, and we do have temperatures are much cooler than they were just 2 days ago. We're sitting at 56 degrees, overcast skies. A little warmer now, though, than where we were yesterday at this time. Not by much, and a little less wind to speak of. Now, we'll see those temperatures climb up into the lower, maybe a few middle 60s here during the course of your mid to late afternoon before we see the temperatures start to drop off over the next 12 hours or 12-hour period into the 50s once again, once we get to tonight's timeline. Now, as far as wind gusts, yes, a little bit breezy out there, not quite as bad as, like I said, we had yesterday. We had some mid and upper 20s and even some 30-degree wind gusts at this time, but not seeing that currently. We're seeing some lower 20-mile-per-hour wind speeds here from Martinsburg, Hagerstown, and the Winchester area, as well as Leesburg. All right, so what about the forecast here for the National Harbor today? 57 around 1 p.m., 61 around 3, and 60 at 5 p.m. And the weather headlines here, mainly dry day, a couple isolated showers. I'll show you that with a futurecast, but a better chance of a few storms and rain kicking in as we start on Thursday and going into the weekend. Mark?
All right, Scott, thank you. President Trump enacting sweeping global tariffs today, a move that many experts say could shake international markets and drive up costs for American consumers. National correspondent Rashad Hudson has more.
The White House is calling today Liberation Day, referring to President Trump's plan to impose new tariffs on U.S. trading partners. It's certainly a move that's having an impact on the stock market.
April 2nd, 2025 will go down as one of the most important days in modern American history.
All eyes are on President Donald Trump's plan to impose new tariffs set to take effect immediately and expected to spark retaliation from key U.S. trading partners.
If you make your product in America, you will pay no tariffs.
These new tariffs come on top of existing ones, including a tax on foreign-made vehicles, auto parts, and a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum from Canada.
Look, we're here to stop a huge national sales tax being imposed on Americans through these Canadian tariffs that are based on a fake Canadian emergency.
I yield the floor.
And history was made inside of the Senate chamber when New Jersey Democratic Senator Cory Booker spoke for more than 25 hours, railing against President Trump's policies.
What does his liberation mean to people who can't afford homes because of his tariffs?
And with the president's tariff plan just hours away, lawmakers and business leaders will be watching closely to see how global markets react. Reporting in Washington, Rashad Hudson. Back to you.
All right, Rashad, thank you. Bipartisan effort delivering a win for lawmakers and new parents. The House advancing a bill to allow congressional members with a new child to vote by proxy rather than in person. It was a decisive defeat for House Speaker Mike Johnson, who calls the vote disappointing and then canceling the rest of the week's sessions. Also happening today, President Trump is holding a meeting for potential investors for TikTok. This as a time is certainly running out for the popular social media platform. Back in January, the president gave a 75-day reprieve, blocking a law that would ban the Chinese-owned app unless it was sold to a U.S. owner. But that reprieve ends Saturday. Owner ByteDance has said several times it will not sell the app. A D.C. Council is taking action to allow more closed-door meetings, and that would cut the public out of the conversation. Council passed emergency legislation to amend the current open meetings law. The change will allow the council to meet in private and also without a required 48-hour public notice if they're discussing topics like potential threats or a meeting with the mayor. Members say they cannot take any official actions in these sessions, but they say a closed meeting will allow them to discuss sensitive economic development deals and federal relations, and some advocates are skeptical about shutting out the public.
They work for the public. They work for the people of the District of Columbia. And the people of the District of Columbia have a right to know why they're doing things, not only what they're doing, but why they're doing them.
Well, the measure passed an emergency meeting, and it will last for only 90 days and without a public hearing. Chairman Phil Mendelson introduced a permanent bill. A public hearing date is set for April 22nd. Changes to D.C.'s emergency rental assistance program are moving forward. D.C. News Now's Candace Cole is outside the Wilson Building with the latest.
On Tuesday, the D.C. City Council advanced amendments to the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, or ERAP, that would basically make it easier for landlords to evict tenants who fall behind on the rent. ERAP, which is meant to help tenants making less than 40% of the median income secure housing, came with certain eligibility requirements like proof of residency, income, and assets. However, those requirements went away during the pandemic, and tenants were allowed to self-certify. There was also a pause on evictions, and tenants who were behind on the rent were able to continuously delay eviction proceedings. The situation has led to a backlog of nearly $150 million in unpaid rent here in the district. Some of the changes to ERAP would limit the time and how much it costs landlords to reschedule evictions, clarifies which documents landlords need to comply with ERAP, and makes clear that a rent waiver defense must be proven during a trial. The emergency legislation that passed last fall addressed many of the problems that were created due to the COVID-era provisions that led to the rental crisis. Alex Rossello with the Apartment and Office Building Association says these new amendments re-inject some of the same problematic policies into the ERAP program.
It would lead to kind of a similar situation that we had before the emergency legislation was passed in the fall, where people would continue racking up rental debt while their own economic situations aren't changing. So we believe that's bad for renters and bad for housing providers, and so that's why we oppose the amendments.
A vote to advance those amendments passed the council 9-3, with council members McDuffie, Felder, and Parker voting present. It's not yet clear when the next vote will come, but more amendments are possible. Reporting in Northwest, Candace Cole, DC News Now.
Candace, thank you. A heads up for Virginians. Dominion Energy proposes new rate increases. According to the company, Dominion wants to implement base rate increases of $8.51 per month in 2026, $2 per month by 2027 for residential customers. Dominion also proposing a $10.92 increase to the fuel rate for residential customers. If approved by the Virginia State Corporation Commission, the increases would go into effect the new fuel rate starting July 1st of this year. In Virginia, a new bill signed into law by Governor Youngkin will make all schools in the Commonwealth develop a cardiac emergency response plan. Now, this plan will also cover sporting events and happening on campuses as well. It follows a similar bill passed back in 2023 requiring that all schools to have automated external defibrillators. Now, once in place, it will be practiced at least once a year, like a fire drill or a tornado drill. Each school will be able to decide how they want to craft the plan. The law goes into effect July 1st. Right now, investigation at DCA where an FAA employee is facing assault charges. It stems from an incident in the air traffic control tower last week. That air traffic controller identified as 39-year-old Damon Gaines of Upper Marlboro, Maryland. He's on administrative leave as the FAA continues to investigate what happened. Airport officials say that he was arrested following that incident at DCA Thursday. Gaines is charged with assault and battery. Former airline pilot Keith Mackey says that the air traffic control tower is already a high-stress environment, especially in a complicated, busy airspace like DCA.
Controllers now, because of these recent accidents, near misses, are under even a lot more pressure than they are normally. The traffic doesn't decrease, the flights increase, so that just adds to the complexity and the stress on the controllers.
Well, we reached out to Gaines for comment, but we've not heard back. The charging documents were not available at the Arlington County Courthouse. Maryland senators passing the state budget to address a more than $3 billion deficit, but it could come at the cost of taxpayers. According to the Associated Press, the budget passed by the Maryland Senate is different from the one passed by the House. One major area of concern ahead of the newest budget, funding for schools. The Department of Education rescinded more than $400 million in emergency COVID-19 recovery funds. Lawmakers are making some adjustments to the budget to ensure it's balanced. The proposed tax increase could also be a problem for federal workers in Maryland. Now out of a job, Maryland is home to the departments seeing mass layoffs like the FDA, the NIH, NOAA, and NSA. A big incentive for recently fired federal employees to work in Northern Virginia. Fairfax County Police, they're offering a hiring bonus. The department is looking for new officers and professional staff. It's a $15,000 bonus for new officers, but the department is also looking for skilled professionals in crime analysis, parking enforcement, and investigative aides. You can see all the details and a list of benefits on our website, dcnewsnow.com. And a heads up for shoppers, if you bought the Hot Honey mustard dressing from Trader Joe's with a use date of May 27, 2025, you should throw it away. According to the FDA, an incorrect label does not include allergen call-outs for peanuts, soy, sesame, or wheat. The dressing was sold at Trader Joe's grocery stores across the country, including D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. Consumers can either throw it away or return it to Trader Joe's for a refund. Oh, is there now a new way to get around the DMV? WMATA posting on X that these pictures of the Metro gondola. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. The post was made on April Fool's Day. Metro might be kidding, but this could be the most relaxing and scenic way to get around.